ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ऋकारस्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ ब्रह्मविदा आप्नोति परं तदेषाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अभयप्रतिष्ठोपपत्तेश्च Abhaya Pratishtha is possible only if the Sankramana Swarupa, Sankramana is being done by the Satswarupa itself. That is the question that we are discussing now. Who is this Sankramana Karta? Is it the Jivatma or Paraatma? So Bhashyakara bringing the point here that unless the Sankramana is being done by Brahmavastu itself, this Abhaya Pratishtha is not possible. Yadi hi vidyavan swatmanaha anyati na pashyati tataha abhayam pratishtam vindate iti syat. The only possibility in which an abhaya is possible is if the Swarupa is Brahman. If there is a second thing, there cannot be an abhaya. Udaramantaram kurute ata tasya bhayam bhavati. Any second thing is always a cause of fear, even if it is Bhagavan. Because a Bhagavan who is other than you can be superimposed with certain qualities. Whether the Bhagavan has it or not, your mind will actually superimpose certain qualities because you will have a fear. What if the Bhagavan punishes me? Because we have all this likes and dislikes and guilt and hurt. Therefore, irrespective of the nature of Bhagavan, as so long as Bhagavan is other than you, and if your recognition is that it is other than you, the fear is unavoidable. Therefore, Abhayam is possible only if the truth is that Sarvam Brahma and you recognize it, not just a notion. Therefore, Abhaya Pratishtha is possible only if Anya Drishti is not there. Bhaya hetoho parasya anyasya abhavad. Because when there is no other thing, then there is Bhaya hetu's absence. There is absence of any cause for fear. Because there is nothing else which can create fear. Therefore, there won't be any fear. So the Shastra is saying Abhayam Pratishtham Vintate. So Shastra, see, both are agreeing. See here, the person who is arguing is also a Vaidika. He is not a Nastika. He is an Astika only. Therefore, he can argue on the basis of Shastra Vakya. So since he is accepting the Shastra Vakya, Bhashyakara says, Abhayam Pratishtham Vindate, there is a Vakya which is there in Shruti. So that Vakya, if you have to accept, if you have to own up that Shruti Pramanyam of that sentence, then you need to accept that it is only the Satvastu or Paratma which is doing Sankramanam. That's what he says. Anyasya ja avidya kritatve vidyaya avastutva darshanopapattihi. Therefore, this Anya is Jivatma, is created by avidya. It doesn't have existence of its own. So it's only your notion, superimposition. Then what happens? Vidyaya avastutva darshana. Knowledge is established, is possible. Establishing it is possible. Yeah, the internet was little. Let me know if it is okay now. I saw the bandwidth went down a bit that time. It looks okay. The bandwidth looks okay now. Okay. Thank you. So, Abhaya Pratishta is possible once the avidya is removed. Okay, that's what he says. Tadhi dvitiyasya chandrasya asatvam yad ataimerikena chakshushmata na grihyate. So when the cataract goes away, the second moon goes away. Similarly, once the ignorance goes away, the Dvaita Bhavam goes away, and we saw all this, so I am moving. Na evam na krishyate iti chet. It's not the same case with the jnani, because that person, unlike in the case of a cataract removal, here the second moon, which is actually the world experience, is continuing. So how can you say that the simile of cataract removing the second moon is applicable here? So he says, na sushupta samahitayoho agrahanat. We saw all this. So this in sushupti and when you are concentrated on something, you are not experiencing the world. Therefore, there is a state in which it is not experienced. Sushupte agrahanam manya saktavate iti chet na sarva agrahanat. So why can't you take that deep sleep? Is because you are not focusing on it. So then he says, no sarva grahanat. There is nothing is experienced in deep sleep. Jagrat sapnayoho anyasya grahanat sattvameva iti chet. So I'll quickly go through this because we have seen this. And last week, the 2 weeks back, the audio was bad. That's why I'm just repeating it. Jagrat sapnayoho anyasya grahanat sattvameva iti chet. So since in two states I am experiencing Dvaitam, and only in deep sleep I am not experiencing, why can't I take that the duality experience is real? Yes, na avidya kritatva jagrat swapnayoho. Okay, if you take one aspect is your sushupti establishes Advaitam, that is one thing. But even in waken and dream state, avidya kritatvam can be established. The ignorance, because even in waking, see, the whole knowledge takes place in the waking only, not in deep sleep. So that knowledge shows that there is an existence of avidya. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, avidya kritatva jagra swapnayoho. So it can be a see, this person does not understand avidya, the Purva Pakshi. But the Siddhanta Paksha is that it is avidya kritam, and I can show you that it is avidya kritam. So Bhashyakara takes it as an established factual statement that avidya kritatva jagra swapnayoho, the waken and dream state are avidya kritam. Yad anyagrahanam jagra swapnayoho tad avidya kritam. So whatever the experience of world is not avidya kritam, but that the duality is real is avidya kritam. The status of what you are experiencing is avidya kritam. Not your, so you can't say, I am seeing the wall, I am hearing the sound of you talking. How can you say it is avidya kritam? We agree that you are listening, you hear. But whether it is real or unreal, what is the the truth of it, satyatvam of it, is where the vidya and avidya comes. Okay, not that you are having an experience. It's only the reality of experience where we are talking whether it is vidya or avidya. Avidya bhave abhavat shushupte grahanamapi avidya kritamiti chet. Purvakshi is saying, why can't you take even deep sleep is avidya kritam? You can say no, that you are not experiencing anything in the sleep because avidya is crowding your atma. Why can't you take like that? So he says, swabhavikatvat. That can't be true because we have to see what is swabhava, what is the natural state, what is the superimposed state. In the case of atma, the deep sleep is swabhavikam. How dravyasya hi tattvam avikriya, the equilibrium or the natural state of a matter is its swarupa. Paranapekshadvat, a gold, a solid state is its swabhava, it's a swabhavikatvam for a, I think again there is a bandwidth. Just wait for, okay. So the swabhava for gold is its solid state. The molten state is not its swabhava because it needs heat. So paranapekshadvat. So for gold to be solid, it doesn't need anything else. Then that becomes its swabhava. So when you need something else for a particular state, that is not that object's swabhava. That is what Bhashyakara is using the logic here. So deep sleep state doesn't need anything else. Even in vacant state, between two thoughts, what obtains is your nature, and that doesn't need anything else. Only for the other experience, you need so many things. You need the thought, you need the objects, you need your mind to come into contact. All that is needed only for the other states. However, the deep sleep state is its swabhava, swabhavikatvat, paranapekshatvat. It doesn't need anything else. Its existence is on its own. It is not dependent. It's not an incidental state. It is a natural state. That's what he says. Swabhavikatvat means natural state. Vikriya na tattvam. Modification is not. Again, it says internet is unstable. Okay. Modified state is not its swabhava. Na tattvam. Parapekshatvat. Because it needs something else. The ecosystem has to change. Then only that state is obtained. Therefore, that cannot be it. The moment, see, it is invariable concomitance, we say, right? So only when heat is there, the fluidity is there for gold. If heat is not there, fluidity is not there, right? So that means the fluidity, liquidity is dependent on the heat being more. Therefore, it can't be its swabhavika state. It is only incidental. It comes and goes depending on the heat. Parapekshatvat nahi karakapeksham vastunaha tattvam. So an object, vastu can be Brahma vastu or any other vastu. Its swarupa shouldn't be dependent on it being a karma for something else. A clay is clay. It can't, for it to be pot, it needs a certain situation, right? Then only it becomes a pot. Otherwise, even when it is a pot, it is clay. That's a different thing. But what we are saying is clay is a swabhava for it. The lumpness is its swabhava. Sataha, Visheshaha, Karakapekshah, Visheshascha Vikriya. The attribute of it is dependent on certain karaka. That is Vikriyam. That is a modification. Jagra Swapnayoscha Grahanam Visheshaha. The waken and dream has certain attributes, and those attributes come and go. Right now, I am seeing the laptop. That's an incidental state for me. I am not always a laptop viewer, but at this time, there is a laptop Grahanam. So, similarly, the next moment, the laptop Grahanam goes and some light Grahanam comes. So that is also an incidental state for me. I am not always seeing only light, right? Therefore, all these states come and go. But the moment it goes, what remains a constant. That's why we say in between two thoughts, or in deep sleep, or in deep meditation, whatever obtains is your nature. That is your essential nature. Everything else comes and goes because it is a superimposition. Jagrat Swapnayoscha Grahanam Visheshaha. These are incidental attributes. Yadhi yasya na anyapeksham swarupam tat tasya tattvam. The nature which is not dependent on anything else is its tattvam. Tat tattvam, it is essence of it, right? The base. What would you say? The base nature of it, Swarupa, is that is not dependent on anything else. Similarly, in the case of Atma, what obtains all the time, independent of the state, is what is its nature. That is what is that? That is what Bhashyakara has already said. What is available in Sushupti? In spite of lack of any experience, what obtains as a Sakshi Pratyaksha is what is your Swarupa. Because it is always there. Even when you are experiencing, it is there. Even in spite of all experience, it is there. In fact, that means it dismisses even your knowing that I am so and so. Even that I am itself is also part of Anatma only. So even that is incidental, because in deep sleep, this I am also is not experienced. Yad anyapeksham na tati tattvam anya bhave abhavat. So the dependent realities are not nature because it is dependent on external factors, and those factors may be there, may not be there. So therefore, it is not going to determine what your Swarupa is. Tasmad Swabhavikatva Jagrat Swapnavati na Sushuptehe Visheshaha. So you can't say that Sushupti also is an avidya karyam. Bhashyakara clearly dismisses that. Yesham punaha Ishvaraha Anyaha Atmanaha Karyam Janyate Tesham Bhayanavrittihi Bhaya Anivrittihi. So for whom Ishvara Atmanaha Anyaha is different from oneself. Here Ishvara means Brahman, not Jiveshvara. Jiveshvara Aikyam is through both being Brahman, not in terms of their attributes. So the moment you say Ishvara, then you have Sarva Shaktimatvam, all that comes into place, right? Sarvajñatvam, Sarva Shaktimatvam, all those are there. Whereas for a Jiva, all that is not there. But in the very essence, both are Brahman, leaving all the incidental attributes. The same thing. Like for Jiva, all these are incidental. The dream and waken and whatever obtains during that time, right? Except for the Swarupa, everything else is incidental. It holds the same for Ishvara also. All this Sarva Shaktimatvam, Sarvaishwaryam, all that we talk about for Ishvara, that is also incidental for Ishvara, because Ishvara's Swarupa during Pralaya, for example, what obtains is like when we in our Sushupti, whatever obtains is what obtains in Pralaya. There is no Srishti when Pralaya has happened. That means there is no Ishvara, right? See, Ishvara is only from the standpoint of Srishti. When there is Srishti, there is Ishvara. When there is pralaya, there is no Ishvara, like our deep sleep. So there also, all the Sarva Shaktimatvam, right? The Virat, the Hiranyagarbha, all these things, Ishwaratvam, is all incidental only. That can't be Ishvara Swarupa. So Ishvara's Swarupa also is Brahman. So Jiva Swarupa also is Brahman. Therefore, from a Brahman standpoint, they are both same. Therefore, Yesham Punaha Ishvaraha Anyaha Atmanaha Anyaha Ishvara. For one to whom Ishvara is different from oneself, Karyam cha Anyat. Even Jagat. See, these are three things. Jiveshwara Jagat, right? Jagat is Karyam. So here Karyam Bhashyakara states means the Jagat. Anyate. So if Jiva is different, like Dvaitins say, I am different from Ishvara, I am different from Jagat, Jiva Jagat Veda, Jiveshwara Veda, Jagat, all those, right? Jiva Jiva Veda. Like that, if somebody takes Tesham Bhaya Anivrittihi, for that person, how will Bhaya go? There is always a comparison, there is always, Bhaya means everything else also, right? Bhaya is Upalakshana for even anger. Bhaya is only if you are afraid. If you are not afraid of something, then it becomes an anger also, right? It's an expression of your disappointment. That's all. Therefore, all those emotions can't go away because you have something else to show all these emotions. Bhaya anivrittihi bhayasya anya nimittatvat satasya anyasya atmahana anupapattihi. Suppose anya you are Jiva and there is a separate Ishvara. Because the Sankramanam, if you take it to be Jiva and Ishvara as two different things. Not because of avidya, but because in reality, if there are two things, then he is asking, how can that other object destroy itself? So only if it destroys itself, your bhaya will go. But Atmahana Anupapatti, something which is a Sat, if you are also true, suppose that is the situation, Satascha Anyasya Atmahana Anupapatti, it can't self-destruct. That means it can't go away. If it can't go away, the bhaya cannot go away. Because the Bhashyakara is assuming, if Purvapakshi says, hey, right now they are two, later on what if with jnana coming in, this that Sadvastu destruct itself, then you can become mukta, right? Because there is no second object. Yeah, that Tandal is not possible because a Sadvastu cannot destroy, it has to stay. You can't say, because why I am saying is later on Bhashyakara is going to say that if you keep on making statements like Sat will destroy itself, Asat will come, Asat will actually get an Atma, all those things, then there won't be stability in your Vada, is what he says. Asataha sataschanyasya atmahana anupapattihi. The Sadvastu, if it is Ishvara is Sat, then it can't, Atmahana cannot happen for it. And you are not also going to be able to kill it. Therefore, this Bhayam is going to only continue. Nacha asataha atmalavaha sapekshasya anyasya bhayahetutvam iti chet. Then this Purvapakshi is bringing another point. Okay, see, your problem is this Ishvara, if it is separate, he can become a Bhaya Karanam for you. But what if I say the Bhaya Hetutvam is separate from Ishvara? Bhayam for you is because of what? The Punya Papa and all that. You will, Ishvara is a Paladata, therefore you are afraid. Okay. Because Ishvara will do something for you. Suppose I say Sapeksham, Ishvara is dependent on something else to do Punya Papa. So your fear is mostly on Punya Papa only, but not on that Ishvara. Therefore, for Abhaya Pratishta, your need is on Ishvara not being separate is not material. Okay, let me again explain. I think it is a little confusing, right? See, the original statement is because Ishvara is Abhaya Hetu, he cannot be different from you, is what Bhashyakara said, correct? Anything which is different from you is a Bhaya Hetu. I am different from sun, so I am afraid sun can burn me. I am different from river, so I am afraid that flood will take me away, correct? So therefore, the difference between I, me and Ishvara is a cause for fear, is what is your statement. Therefore, because Shastra is saying, Shruti is saying, Abhayam is there, Ishvara cannot be separate from you, correct? This is your basic statement. Purvapakshi says, now I am saying, your bhaya from Ishvara is not just because you are different from Ishvara, but because Ishvara is going to give you some punishment, all that. Now, all this punishment, etc., suppose I say, is not Ishvara, it is a separate thing. Sapeksham, the dharma and all that is a separate thing. So, because of all this dharma, adharma only, the Bhagavan is going to give you some result. Suppose I separate the two, then what? Then can you not say that I don't have, then Ishvara can be separate? No, you shouldn't have a problem. Because your fear is not going to be because of that Ishvara, because the fear is on something else, dharma, dharma. You may be afraid of dharma, dharma, but you have nothing to be afraid of with Ishvara. Therefore, can you not say that you and Ishvara are different and Sankaramanam happens between Jiva and Ishvara? Okay, this is the argument. Bhashyakara says, na tasyapi tulyatvat. You are hair splitting, but whether Ishvara himself is karma paladata or he gives karma pala based on dharma, okay, both means the same. Irrespective of it, you will be afraid. Whether it is directly punishing you or is punishing based on dharma, your fear will continue because Ishvara has to somehow link with that dharma. No? Then only that Ishvara's existence has any meaning. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, Tasya api tulyatvat yad dharmadi anusahayi bhutam nityam anityam va nimittam apekshya anyat bhaya karanam syat tasya api tata bhutasya atmahana bhavat bhaya anivrittihi. So if you take yet dharmadi anusahayi bhutam, all your punya papa as a partner, okay, for Ishvara. Anusahayi bhutam nityam anityam va nimittam apekshya anyat bhaya karanam syat. If Ishvara is a cause for, is the one who is going to use the dharma to give you your punya papa, to give you any punishment or whatever, it is still a bhaya karanam. Even if you separate Ishvara from dharma, your sanchita punya papa, even then it becomes a bhaya karanam. Tasyapi tata bhutasya atmahana bhavat bhaya anivrittihi. Even in that case, your punya papa, neither your punya papa nor that Ishvara is going to self-destruct. Atmahana bhavat, they are not going to cease to exist. So if they don't cease to exist, see, our problem is not only two. Anything about two also is a problem only, no? When you say Dvaitati Bhayam Bhavati, doesn't mean only two is see, doesn't mean the number two, right? 3 is also Dvaitam, 4 is also Dvaitam, 100 is also Dvaitam only. So just because one Ishvara, you are splitting into one Ishvara and dharma as separate category, means instead of 2 it is 3, that's all. So 2 itself, if you can be afraid of, 3 you will only be more afraid, isn't it? So therefore, tasyapi tata bhutasya atmahana bhavat bhaya anivrittihi. Even then, the bhaya won't go away. Just because you are separating the bhaya karanatvam, see, Purvapaksha is trying to split it out. It's like, Suppose you want to buy a cow, right? Then, or if you're not cow, let's say you want to buy a car. Okay, you have a problem with the four tires because they are punctured, and somebody takes off those four wheels and then says, you know, I will sell you these things separately. You pay something for the car, and for the tires you sell with some little price. That doesn't solve my problem, no? It still is the same tires. Similarly, here, just because you separate out Ishvara from the Punya Papa doesn't solve our problem, because still you are still having both. Instead of them together, you are now having them separate. Therefore, Bhashikara says you don't have any big logic there. Atmahaneva sadasatoho iteretara pattau sarvatra anashvasaha eva. Suppose you come and tell me that, hey, Ishvara and Dharma is kept separate. Okay. And when you gain Ishvara, this Dharma will self-destruct and Ishvara alone will come with you, right? Or if you say Ishvara will self-destruct, then what are you saying? A Sat is going to become Asat. What existed today doesn't exist tomorrow. Means a Sat can become Asat and Asat can become Sat. All that if you say, then there is no stability in your argument. You can't just say something is Sat and then it goes away tomorrow, right? In our case, we say it is due to avidya. That is a totally different thing. It even today doesn't exist. You only are notionally seeing it. But in your case, you take them to be true existence. That is your argument. If they are true existences, then they can't cease to exist from tomorrow. That means Sat is becoming Asat for you. That is Anashvasaha Sarvatra. Then everything that of your argument I can start questioning. Because for you, Sat can become Asat and Asat can become Sat. Then we have to completely relook at everything, and your base itself will be in trouble, is what he's saying. Then he has to know Siddhanta Paksha, he has to explain, right? Then what happens to your case, right? When you are saying Advayam Brahma, so how do you tackle it? Would be the question. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, Ekatva Pakshe. In our case, Ekatva Paksha means, in the case of Sarvam Brahma, there is only one object, one thing, not object. There is only oneness, Advayam. In that case, what happens? Punaha Sanimittasya Samsarasya Avidya Kalpitatvat Adoshaha. So this samsara has a nimitta in our case. Okay. What is that nimitta? Avidya Kalpitatvam. So it is the whole samsara is only due to avidya. There is no samsara at all. So therefore, there is no destruction needed here. There is no atmahani. None of those problems are there. Again he brings Taimirika Drishtasya hi Dvidiya Chandrasya na atmalabha nashaha va asti. This is the same simile here. He says, in the case of a cataract, the second moon doesn't need a destruction. Nor you have to say how first moon attained life. Na atmalabha nashaha va asti. The second moon doesn't need destruction. You just need cataract removal. So avidya nivritti is needed. The moon doesn't exist even when you are seeing it. That is what it means. Correct? The second moon doesn't exist even when you are seeing it. Therefore, where is the question of destruction? Vidya avidyayoho tad dharmatvam iti chet. Then it's completely off, is it? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
We can.
Okay. Okay. So Dvitiya Chandra doesn't need a destruction. What need to go is only Timira, right? The cataract has to go. Vidya, then he asked this question, Vidya Vidyayoho Tadharmatvam. So this is a typical question we all have. Hey, it is my ignorance and my knowledge we are saying. That means, can't we say this knowledge and ignorance are attributes of Atma? So it has nothing to do with the samsara or anything. You are just talking about two things. Today your mind is thinking like this, tomorrow it is thinking differently. These are Swarupa. This is the nature of Atma, this is Atma Dharma. And how can you talk about samsara and all that removal just because of this? Is how he is bringing it. He says Vidya Vidyayoho Tadharmatvam. Why can't you take it as it's a Jivatma's attribute? That's all. It doesn't completely remove all ignorance. Because it is your attribute, is how you have to look at it. Then Bhashikara says, Na Pratyakshatvat. It's a very important part of Bhashyam. He talks about both Vidya and Avidya are not Atma Visheshanam. Why? What is the hetu? Pratyakshatvat. It is available for your cognition. You can witness it as a Sakshi Pratyaksha. You can see your ignorance and you can see your knowledge. I know this is known to me. I don't know this is also known to me. Pratyakshatvat. How? Viveka avivekau. Rupadivate. Pratyakshau. Upalabhyete. Antahkaranasthau. The knowledge and ignorance are like sight, smell, taste and touch. That your eyes see is seen by you as a witness, correct? I see this laptop, I hear Kalyanji's voice. While you hear the voice, that you hear the voice is also known to you. That is called Sakshi Pratyaksha. So you hear the voice and the status that you are hearing the voice is also known to you, correct? Similarly, I know maths, algebra is known to me. I don't know theory of relativity is also known to me. I am ignorant of what is in Mars is known to me. Not only such complex things, even very simple knowledge and ignorance are known, just like that I am seeing and hearing is known. Viveka avivekau rupadivate pratyakshau upalabhyete antahkaranasthau. Both knowledge and ignorance are only in my mind, and what is in the mind is known to me. Therefore, I am separate from it. Nahi rupasya pratyakshasya sataha drashtudharmatvam. The drashta is different from what is drishyam. What is seen, what is witnessed by me is not me. Just like my eyes seeing an object, the object is not me. The eyes are also not me because I know that my eyes are seeing this. And the what is happening as sight is also not me because I know that that sight is happening. Similarly, knowledge and ignorance also are known to me, therefore it is not drashtra dharma. It is not the nature of drashta. It is this drishyam only. In fact, Bhashyakara is going to conclude that it is like pratyaksha anumana only. Even vidya vidya. It says avidya cha swanubhavena nirupyate moodhoham avivaktam mama vijnanam iti. Either I decide that I don't know about something or my clarity is less. Avivaktam mama vijnanam swanubhavena nirupyate. Okay, as a thing that is experienced by me. Tatha vidya vivekaha anubhuyate. Whether it is ignorance or knowledge, both are same. And he gives further goes and says, Upadishanti cha anyebhyaha atmanaha vidyam buddhaha. Only when I know something, I go and teach somebody, correct? If I am ready, suppose your son or daughter comes and asks you, teach me complex numbers. You will start teaching only if you think that you know complex numbers, right? Not even I should say think. I should say if you know that you know complex numbers, then only you will start teaching. Otherwise, you will tell your son or daughter, I don't know complex numbers. So go and learn it from your brother or sister, right? That means Bhashyakara is saying, Upadishanti cha anyebhyaha atmanaha vidyam buddhaha. So atmanaha vidyam, what I know, only when I know that, then only I will initiate teaching to somebody else. Otherwise, I won't start teaching. That means what I know, and I know what I don't know. So what I know and what I don't know are both witnessed by me. Therefore, they can't be me. That's all he's saying. Tata cha anye avadharayanti. Others also understand it that way, that you know this or you don't know this. Therefore, Bhashyakara concludes, Tasmat nama rupa pakshasya iva eva vidya vidye. So, the knowledge and ignorance you have to categorize along with the name and form. They are not anything special. Just because in the case of name and form you see objects outside, you give a greater status that these are not me. So it is easy to say, hey, this wire is not me because it's outside. But you find it very difficult to say that my knowledge is not me, because I am defined by what I know and what I think, isn't it? That's how we think. Hey, I am a very kind person. I am a very knowledgeable person, right? And that I is defined by what? By some of the inner attributes of my mind and intellect. But Bhashyakara says, I am sorry, Nama Rupa Pakshasya Eva Vidya Vidye. They belong to the same category, like whatever has name and form, even though these don't have name and form. The ignorance and knowledge don't have name and form. But then, from a reality perspective, they all go together. Nama Rupe Cha Na Atma Dharmau. They can't be Atma Dharma. Akasho Vai Nama. Nama Rupayor Nirvihita Te Yadanantara Tat Brahma Iti Shruttyantarat. So he has so far used logic. Now he brings Shruti Apramanam also for this, right from Chandogya. Nama Rupayoho Nirvahita Te Yadantara Tat Brahma. So that which is inside and which is doing Nirvahanam of Nama Rupa is what is Brahman. and that is not Atma Dharma. He is bringing Shruti Pramana for Nama Rupe, na Atma Dharme, but clubbing Vidya Vidya to Nama Rupa, he still goes by his Drishrishya Viveka. Iti Shrutyantara te cha punaha Nama Rupe Savitari Ahoratraiva Kalpite na Paramartataha Vidyamane Savitari Ahoratraiva Kalpite, like day and night is on the sun, na Paramartataha Vidyamane. So they don't exist as a reality. Therefore, some very key discussions he brought here. First one, the Swarupa is what constantly obtains in three states of vacant dream and deep sleep. What is invariably the state? If you take out all the incidental states, what is invariable? When thoughts come and go, between the see, this is another thing. In between thoughts, what obtains? If you witness it, and it is the same thing. So when you are thoughtless, that is why we use this japa. Japa, you can observe. Why do you use japa? Because our mind is given to chain thinking. Chain thinking is like your chain. You have one ring on the another ring and another ring and another ring, and that's how it goes. Thought also goes like that. Look at this. This is a headphone, right? This is white in color. Now, though the laptop is in black color, this is white in color, right? Now, when I put it in the laptop, I can see a contrast in colors. But sometimes we also buy laptops, right? But if the white laptops are typically little more pricey, but last time when I bought a laptop, right, I had a doubt whether to buy a black laptop or white laptop, right? Because the white is more silver in color, right? But when it scratches come, it is very visible. Therefore, I thought I'll buy a black laptop. But in the case of my car, right, I had a silver car, okay. Though it had scratches, silver car was much better than the black cars that were, around my place. Okay. So, and that car I sold almost 2 years back. So, if you see how my thinking goes. So, from this headphone, it just goes one after the other. And I can go on like that. Now, all our minds think like that, right? That is called chain thinking. Now, this chain thinking, you can't observe your mind because it's always going. It's not a active thinking, right? You are not consciously thinking. It's just taking you somewhere, right? Now in japa, what happens? You do cyclic thinking because you are consciously making your mind repeat a certain thing. And again, even there, sometimes the mind goes away, you bring it back. But when you bring it back into a chain thinking, into a cyclic thinking, like by repeating a certain thing, then you are actively thinking. And between the two chants in your mind, when you are doing a cyclic thinking, like you are repeating a certain mantra, whatever, in between two chants, you can actually focus on the stillness. So what obtains? Suppose I am chanting some mantra, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So I am doing that, and my mind is focused only on those, right? Not thinking something else. then in between two chants, I can observe the stillness. So what is present is my invariable state, isn't it? Because at that time, neither am I chanting, nor am I having a chain thinking going on. There is nothing, right? What obtains there is generally it's one of the way to meditate is you focus in between two chants. And that what obtains there is what obtains in deep meditation when you are having Nirvikalpa Samadhi, it's the same thing. And in deep sleep also it's the same. But in deep sleep and Nirvikalpa Samadhi, your witness perception also is not available at that time. You are not consciously observing. That is one thing Bhashyakara spoke about. What is like they say, right? Sutre Manigana Iva. So what we all see the pearls, but we don't see the thread with which ties all the pearls together. And in fact, in this Vidyaranya Sampradaya, they say that only if you have Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we can agree that you have the experience of Brahman, because at least at some point you should see that the thread without any pearls being there. Then only you know what is the thread. Not when all the pearls are there in a necklace or a chain, whatever, right? You have tied all the pearls into a chain. So unless you have seen it without the pearl, you can't say what ties them together. Is what is their statement. Therefore, they say Nirvikalpa Samadhi is essential. Sringeri, they say that unless you have Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is no jnana. But generally in Sampradaya, we don't agree to it because Shastra also says Pratibodha Viditam Matam. In every cognition, what obtains is this Swarupa only. You don't have to separately go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi and see. Right now, when you are listening to this, itself is Brahma Anubhava only, right? There is no separate Anubhava which is needed. But they say that in Vidyaranya school, after Vidyaranya, there is this thing that you need Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The reason for that is this thing only. How do you witness? Because in deep sleep, you are not, though we say it's a Sakshi Pratyaksham, but you are not consciously seeing what is your Swarupa, right? Otherwise, everybody is a Jnani because everybody has slept, have had deep sleep, right? Therefore, even in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what happens? It's almost like sleep. Now, only thing is you consciously go into it. It is almost similar when you are observing in between your chants or in between your thoughts also. So that is one. So what obtains invariably is what is your Swabhava. Therefore, the waken and what is incidental in waken and dream is not your Swabhava or Swarupa, right? Is what one thing he said. And second aspect that he covered here is the Vidya and Avidya also is not or not the attributes of Atma, but they need to be categorized in the Nama-Rupa category only. So, because you just then the moment you move Vidya Avidya also into that, then what is your Swarupa? See, even your Ahankara, the eye cognition also is part of Vidya Avidya only, you know. Therefore, the fact not only just the objects you are witnessing, but that you are witnessing, that recognition that you are witnessing as a witness perception is also that that Vidya Vidya also is in the same category only. Therefore, the Ajnana also is in Mithya, is part of Mithya. Jnanam also is Mithya only. There is both the vrittis are Mithya. The Swarupa doesn't, neither it had any avidya, nor is it creating any new vidya. It supports both. The light is supporting both dirt and purity. It doesn't have any, right? When you have a pile of dirt lying somewhere, the sun will provide light for that. Also purity, right? Ganges also it lights up. Gold also it lights up. It doesn't have any differentiation. Similarly, your ignorance or knowledge, everything your Swarupa lights up. So both Jnanam and Ajnanam are within the witnessed only, not in the Swarupa, is what the Bhashyakara concludes. Therefore, the Sankramanam is this ignorance coming and, the knowledge coming and taking away the ignorance, because of which the Paraatma obtains itself. So this obtaining and all this is only Aupacharikam. It is just as a word we just use as a Upachara, that's all. It doesn't gain. The Paraatma doesn't need to gain. How can I gain myself? So it is only Upachara only. But somebody doesn't have that knowledge. Therefore, that knowledge vritti, that pravritti is there. That's all. Now the reality of it is like clay and pot only. So I see pot, yes, but there is no pot. That is also true. So I have ignorance, yes. I have knowledge, yes. But the Atma doesn't have knowledge or ignorance. That is also true. Because like the dirt is not sticking onto Akasha. No? Akasha is Akasha. How much ever dirt can be there in space. But Akasha is not touched by it. So both ignorance and knowledge are like Namarupa only. It has nothing to do with Atma. It has nothing to do with Brahman. Therefore, Savitri Ahoratre iva kalpite. Sun doesn't see day or night. It is all like our experience, no? So, ignorance and knowledge has nothing to, Brahman doesn't see any of that. Savitri Ahoratre iva. Sun doesn't see night. Where is night? Only if there is night, there is day. So day is only with reference to night. No, if there was no night, where was day? Similarly, knowledge is only with reference to ignorance. But Brahman doesn't see any ignorance. No. Savitri ahoratre eva kalpite. Na paramartadaha vidyamane. There is no reality to both knowledge and ignorance. Or namarupa. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ವಿಜಯ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.